Okay, so I thought I'd do a video on my least favorite vehicle in Star Wars Battlefront, and that would be the Snowspeeder. Well, first up, it's a speeder. So in the Star Wars world, it's not really a fighter. It's not it doesn't fly around, and it's not meant to be agile. As speeders are kind of like the speeder in the first Star Wars movie and the New Hope movie, where it just floats over the ground. So it's like a speeder that's modified in the Star Wars world to have a higher altitude capability. So it's not really a plane or a jet or a fighter in that sense. Um, so in that case, it doesn't fly like a plane or fighter, and that's what I think one of my biggest beefs is with it. Is I'm used to playing Battlefield, where a plane is a plane or a helicopter is a helicopter, and they handle like it. And of course, this is Star Wars, so it'll handle differently. Now, the first strategy thing to come into mind here is the maps, as you can see here, are elongated. What I mean by that is the control points, or the points you got to capture, are all in line with each other. And a lot of times, like I'm doing right here, people will fly straight down the middle, right over those points over the map, along how it's elongated. I tend to strafe the map at a perpendicular angle. So what I do is I'll just fly back and forth at a right angle to the length of the map. And so that really is, in and of itself, that's my whole strategy when I'm using, or strategy is the wrong word, tactic. That's my tactic when I'm flying a Snowspeeder in this game. Because a lot of times the fighters, they come in the map from their spawn point, and they fly to the other end of the map, and then they fly back, and then they might get engaged in a dogfight, and then they'll get twisted up. But they always fly one direction, turn around, and fly back the same way, which is exactly what I'm doing. Except for I try to stay always perpendicular, and it works pretty good, especially this map, because you got this valley that you're working through. So fly up to the top of the ridgeline, turn around, and drop back down to the valley. And especially on this map with the black the black enemies against the white background, even though they're specks, they're like ants. You can typically kind of get a visual acquisition and then start trying to hit them. Of course, the Snowspeeder controls kind of suck. The one advantage I will give the Snowspeeder is it has the jammer. So when you do get engaged by one of the fighters, give it a second, but don't wait too long, and engage your jammer. And then if you really need to, you can try and get away. Typically, I just use the speed burst and try to stay low, and if I can use the terrain. That's one of the advantages with the Snowspeeder, is it is a lot more maneuverable, and it has kind of a bump characteristic programmed into it, where if you get close to the ground and it's the bottom side, you can actually bump off the ground a little bit, so you don't need to worry about making contact, although you should avoid it, with the ground. And that would be my 1-year-old via the baby monitor. Crying. Oh, little guy. Yeah, it's okay, buddy. Go back to sleep. We're gonna stop the commentary now. Enjoy. Ooh, that was a bummer. Maybe I won't stop the commentary. Might have to go up and put the music on for him. Typically, I end up crashing in the Snowspeeder more often than I end up actually making or being killed. That's typically what happens, at least on this this map, and also all the Hoth maps. Celeste, I don't tend to do that as much. The fighters generally have an upper hand on you in that map. Alright, time to go put some Beethoven on for the little guy, and hopefully that puts him back to sleep. Ah, the joys of late night video gaming while being a parent. Right there, crashed again. Had to go up and put the music on for the baby. And just like magic, give it about a minute or 30 seconds and he goes back to sleep. So this is the end of this video, and hope everybody enjoys the Snowspeeder. I do find it to be my least favorite vehicle, but I still obviously have a little fun with it. My thoughts, not yours, and they're worth exactly what you paid for. Oh, go back to sleep, little guy. Go back to sleep. Oh, come on, buddy.